Good morning, everybody. Y'all come go with me. We're gonna go to the VA clinic this morning. Gotta do my blood work for my appointment next week. Cool, windy, misty rain this morning. Had a pretty good rain last night. Let's talk about the VA for a minute. And I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble with it. A lot of people badmouth it. A lot of people badmouth it that don't know what they're talking about. When I signed up with them years ago, all I did, I went down to the Veterans Counselor Center, which I think most everywhere has that. Now keep in mind, the Pensacola is a Navy town, big Navy base there. And Crestview, over to the east, is a big Air Force base. So this is a military area. That might have something to do with it here compared to where some other people are. And I'm sure management of the places has a lot to do with it. But I went in and talked to the veterans counselors, filled out a bunch of papers, looked at the duty stations I'd had, and within a week and a half, 2 weeks, I had my first appointment. Went over, did an initial screening where you see a doctor and they ask you all kind of questions about PTSD and all down the line. A lot of people get offended with them questions, but I mean, if you're going to get in the system, you just answer them. That's all you have to do. And then they give you a complete physical. Well, they did me, complete physical, health history and all that. Then they said, okay, you'll be assigned a doctor and you'll get a notice in the mail when your appointment is. Well, right then I figured, oh boy, here we go. It'll be 6 or 8 months. Well, for me, less than 2 weeks later, I had an appointment for the next week. So within 30 days, I was in the system. I had a doctor, and I've had the same doctor ever since, and that's been going on 7 years, I think now. Had the same doctor ever since. Every time I go here, whether it's for blood work, doctor appointment, pick up meds, whatever, it doesn't matter. Nicest people you ever want to see. Now, I had a surgery done a few years ago over at the Eglin Hospital by an Air Force major, a real doctor. Over there, they treated me just like I was one of them, just like I was somebody. Pleasant experience as far as the hospital and the way that I was treated and all. Surgery was not real fun, but... And then now my open heart surgery, I did not go through the VA with them. My civilian doctor set that all up for me, that I've had for years. But if you're a veteran and you haven't checked into the VA, especially if you need medical care, it might not hurt to give it a try. It's a lot different than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Now, from what I understand, because I wasn't part of the system that far back. But I'm very pleased with them. This Pensacola clinic over here, just awesome. Good people. And we're into this construction zone right here, so I'm going to put this camera down. I had to drive the Suburban this morning. Here we go again with the truck. Something else is wrong now. It's making a loud whining noise. Like that. I think it's the idler pulley that holds the belt tight. I think that thing's starting to go. And I don't have a camera mount in this thing. So we get up here to it. I'll show you what it looks like, how nice it is over there. I'm sure I'm going to try to take the camera inside. They might not like that. Alright, let me put this down in this truck. I can't really see it, but I had my first heart attack. That's where I worked, right over there. See see the asphalt plant still there. I think they're shut down, the company. Not sure. But we're gonna go through the old neighborhood where I grew up. Might be interested, might not be. And it has turned into the ghetto nowadays, down in the actual neighborhood. But this whole section of town over here is where I grew up. Actually, my mother was born and raised in the neighborhood down here where we lived. We went up until I was about 12 years old. We moved around a lot. Wherever my dad could find work is where we went. And in South Alabama. Lived out over in Santa Rosa County where I live now. We lived there for a while out in the woods, which was my favorite place. I was itching to get out of this neighborhood, so just a few months after me and Janine got married, we were gone. But it's built up quite a bit since then. Let's get closer on down here into it, then I'll turn the camera back on. I don't want to bore you too much. Alright, this was the hangout spot for us kids years ago. There's the jail complex over there. We would come, first pizza I ever had in my life was after a baseball game. It's right there where it says Good Times Dance Club. That used to be Shakey's Pizza. Little plaza over there, that was before there was any malls over here. That was Town and Country Plaza, still call that. Used to walk with my grandmother from down that way over here to the Rainbow whatever. It used to be a fabric store. She'd go there and buy her cloth and materials, stuff like that. That was a Krispy Kreme donut there on the corner. Grandfather used to take me there. When I said I'd walk with my grandmother, that was back in the days when you could walk around here. You can't anymore. Not all of them, but a lot of the drive-by shootings and stuff that happened over here in Pensacola come from right in here. I had one right there just a few weeks ago. A guy got killed pumping gas. Got robbed and shot. A lot of this stuff was not here back in the day, but we would ride our bicycles all back through these roads down in here. Pecan Company over there, it's still there. Anyway, just thought I'd show you the section of Pensacola where I mainly grew up and left as soon as I was able to. Alright, I'll show you the hospital. It's a good ways on up the road here. There's a section of town over here, it's called Warrington. The main gate to the Navy base is straight ahead, but we're not going that far down. One of my cousins grew up over here on this side of town, and usually during the summer, if he wasn't at my house, I was at his house, and we would come back when there used to be a lot of traffic here, when the base had a lot more people working here, a lot more traffic. We would run in and out of the traffic on our bikes and back and forth, and going down to the water to swim and act a fool like teenage boys do. This whole area here is something, it's all to do with military. There's little Corey stations down there and back behind us. And that's some of the military park over there, housing. It's a nice base. You can still get on there and ride around. Got a big nice museum out there, which I've been to enough times. Naval Air Museum I've been to enough times I don't want to go back. But it's fun. and it's free. Bad thing about coming over here early like this is I got a fast. I haven't had no coffee yet. Been up since 3:30. But there is a little coffee section in there. As soon as the vampire lady sticks my arm and gets that blood, I'm getting some coffee. That's a Navy shopping mall. That's the commissary and all that stuff. Which I don't have commissary privileges. And from what I hear, grocery store wise, Walmart's just as cheap. So. We're going to turn and go in right up here, and I'll show you, and then we'll shut it down again. Yep, we'll shut it down. That was a long red light. And that big building over there, that's the actual Navy hospital over there. And no guard at the guard shack this morning. There's only been a guard there once that I can ever remember. But there it is. That is our VA clinic. Alright, let me turn this off, find me a place to park, and I'll talk to you in a little while. Oh, you know what? From the time I walked in the door, down the hall to the lab, got stabbed, peed in the cup, went to the coffee bar, paid for my coffee, came out. I'm driving away now. Less than 15 minutes. Everybody in there smiling and happy, just like always. Now I'm going to make my way back to Milton, and Mama has me a handful of bills I've got to stop here and there and pay. So unless I see something interesting on my journey back home, I thank y'all for watching. I thank you for your support. See you later.